Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and Letty are still in Lake Jackson, and today is going to be one for the books. I don't condone alcohol to everybody. I'm not a drinker myself, so I need people to live closer so they can come eat this stuff for me. But this one's going to be too good. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Ring little notifications. You get down in that corner, the little bell thing, so you get a heads up when we do these as close as we can. It's Tuesdays and Fridays. Also, there's a link down the doobly for our merch. We got aprons and fake hands and spatulas and spoons and flippers and pot holders and stuff. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. And let's just get into the food. This stuff is good. Trust me. All right, looks like a lot of stuff. It's not, trust me. Biggest thing, you're going to need some sharp cheddar. You need 3 cups. These are 2 each, so we're going to use 1.5 bags. Easy enough, right? Any kind of cheese will work, but cheddar works best. You want some cayenne pepper. I'm going to use some smoked chipotle stuff. You're going to want some garlic powder, duh. Parsley flakes, but those are optional. It's completely up to you. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper and then sea salt. I'm going to use the mesquite stuff because Texas, I don't want to be fancy, but just any kind of salt's fine, okay? Going to need 3 tablespoons of butter, which is nice here. Just go ahead and cut it off where it's marked to 3. You're going to need some Worcestershire sauce. You're going to want some flour, just a little bit of that. You're going to need some Dijon mustard. Now, the one with the seeds works a lot better, but you can use the regular stuff too. You're going to want some whole milk, some actual whole milk. I picked this up at H-E-B for super cheap. We're only going to use a cup of it, so it's not a lot of that, okay? You're going to need beer. Now, you want lager, so I had to go with Foster's because I couldn't really find anything else that said lager. I always just thought it was universal, like lager meant beer, but I was wrong. And then you're going to want something to dip in it. So I got some of these soft pretzels here, which are super nice. I got them at H-E-B. There was like a $2 off coupon, so score for that. So first things first, get you a good sized saucepan and put it about medium high. I'm going to put it on a 5 out of 9. And we're going to go ahead and throw in that full 3 tablespoons of butter and let that go ahead and melt, okay? You can cut it down to make it melt a little easier. It's up to you. As I did it, you want to do 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in here, and then you're going to need a whisk. You're going to whisk this around and let it cook. It's almost like making a roux. Go figure. So just put in 3 of the tablespoons of that. Get you a whisk, especially if you got a one that's got the non-stick coating there. Use one that's got rubber coating on the tines, I guess, a part of the whisk, because you don't want to scratch that non-stick off. Stir that around for a couple minutes as it's browning. You'll see it start bubbling all the way across. Make sure there's no lumps. All the powder of the flour is take it into the wets, and then you're set, all right? So then after that, you want to go ahead and add your beer. That's only half a cup. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it is. Go ahead and whisk that up. Again, it starts lumping everything up. When you add something in here, it separates it pretty good, but you use that whisk. Does really good. Now, mine's solidifying awful quick. I should probably turn down the heat a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. So you need 1 whole cup of milk, or 1 cup of whole milk, or both. 1 whole cup of whole milk, and whisk the bejeebles out of that. Now, that's going to start cooking because it's a lot of liquid. It's going to start thickening up after about 2 or 3 minutes. You want to go ahead and add your Worcestershire sauce, which is half a teaspoon of that goes in there. You're going to go ahead and do that as well. And then 1 teaspoon of your grainy Dijon stuff. All right, go ahead and just put that in there. I know that sounds weird, but it just helps with the taste. Okay, so the rest of this is just stirring everything in, make sure it doesn't stick. So use your whisk, keep it in there nice and cooked, right? You want to go ahead and add your garlic powder, which is half a teaspoon of that, and then half a teaspoon of your kosher salt as well, or whatever salt. Then you want to add the 1/8 of a teaspoon of the cayenne powder, or I use the smoked chipotle stuff just because Texas, but cayenne pepper's fine. Just 8. I think that's considered a pinch. Thanks to my friend there. Go ahead and there's that salt we added. That's like half a teaspoon of that as well. Be careful with that, especially if you're going to use the pretzels like we're using. The pretzels are salty, so you don't want to use too much of that. Okay. Your parsley is just a pinch. So that's a 16th. Sorry, I looked it up. A 16th of a cup is considered a pinch. Powder only, again, just a pinch of black powder, just because I like it. Makes everything look better. It just looks cool. The rest of the powder and the peppers and stuff in there, you're not really going to notice. So go ahead and start your preheat on your oven for your already cooked pretzels. That you just put it at 425, and then you're going to let them heat for like 5 minutes. Okay. So now we got all this mixed in, and it's nice and cooked. Go ahead and get your cheese. Put in a little bit. And then stir it. So like I said, you're going to use 3 cups of this stuff. Each one of these packages is 2, so you can measure it out. but just 1.5 bags. So put it in there, stir it around until it gets all melted, which it melts very, very quickly. Some people will tell you that it's better to shred your own cheese for this, but that just adds an extra step for me. And if I can get this for actually cheaper than I can for the block, so just do it that way. So go ahead and, like I said, just cup and 3 cups. So just add it a quarter to a third of a cup. Make sure it's stirred, make sure it's melting. Make sure you get all that cheese in there. Oh, I got to get the other bag open. I screwed up. Give me a second. And then just put half of the second bag in there, melt it down, pull it off of heat because you don't want to scorch that cheese, right? So make sure it gets in there, make sure it's nice and all melty and blended, and then pull it off of the heat. All right, you can go ahead and bowl it or plate it, whatever you're going to do. They keep it from the residual heat in the pot, overheating it or scorching it. So there you go. Your pretzels, like I said, just heat them in there for the 5 to 7 minutes, I think they said. But I'm going to show you a trick. So you pull them out about halfway through, right? And they tell you just, put the salt, because it comes with these little packets of salt. Like, just put the salt on the hot ones. Well, you might want to get them wet. So what I do is I get a little ramekin of the beer that I'm using for the cheese dip, get my brush, and then hit them with that brush, and then use a sprinkle. Now, because it's wet, it sticks better. I've heard people say they use water. I think my grandmother said, just lick it. You won't notice. But I put the beer on there, you get a little bit of that beer flavor in there, and it helps the salt stick to it. So there you have it. Like I said, I just serve it on a plate with a bowl full of the cheese stuff. That cheese stuff is good. It is super thick. It does solidify because it's actual cheese relatively quickly. So if you need to heat it up, you can put it in a double boiler or just a microwave. Just make sure to put it on low and stir it as much as you can. But this works really well. With the carbs and the cheese and the salt and stuff, this is 5 different meals for me, unless my doc hears about it, then I'm in trouble. So you totally got to try this one. I know we try to do full meals, but the way I'm doing the diet and as much food as is made, this is more than a meal for me. And there you have it, folks. It's stuff that my doctor told me to stay away from completely. Lots of cheese, alcohol, and salt on the pretzels, and the carbs. So don't tell my doctor. I'm sorry, Doc, if you come across this. But yeah, these turned out so well. It is so good. It's thick. It's filling. Don't worry about just a little bit of beer. It's got plenty of beer flavor to it, man. Like, I expected it to just cook off, but no, it's there. So if you do it differently, you want to see me do it differently, let me know. Put down in the comments. I'll try this again with some different types of cheeses and spices and stuff. I'd be all over that. And maybe something with less salt, like the saltless pretzels or something. Who knows? But you can let us know here down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also find us on social media. We're at Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. We're also on Instagram at Live Between. We had to shorten it down over there. Me, Oswey Nerdy, I'm on all of those, including Twitter and over on TikTok, but I'm generally just talking nerd stuff, action figures and miniatures and gaming and whatever. But hit me up. I'll talk food too. I absolutely love talking food. You can tell I like talking food. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all, please be safe. Enjoy the cheese. It is so good. It's like sitting over here. Y'all be good.